If you've been following this journey, then you know that I got confirmation from the letting agent and the landlady that I can decorate this room to my heart's content, as long as obviously, I don't go smashing walls down. So with that being said, I wanted to do a chalk blackboard paint at the back here where the sim rig is. That would be like tally chart for fastest laps and stuff if I, do games night with the family, or if I'm just there wanting to beat my track record. I know I have it on the wall. I just think chalkboards always are fun to have, and to have a whole wall, that's like a kid's dream, right? To have a whole wall that you can just decorate and then just wipe off and decorate again, wipe off. Yet to order that paint. The second thing was I wanted to do a forest green on this wall here. So take all of this down, make that wall forest green. So I looked at like different shades of green from like Benjamin Moore, and they were quite cheap, but the names of them were like Vintage Vogue, Basil Seasoning or something. And there were so many different names for it, and I thought, where's just like a forest green? And there were so many different shades, and I thought, you know what, I think I need to physically go and see the colour before getting it made, or go in and just ordering it. So I went to B&M, because we got some units for upstairs anyway, so I was like, while I'm here, let me check the paint, and I found Dulux, and it is in the Christmas season of being pine needle. It'll look nice on the wall, I hope. My job now, as I'm, me, I've got sanding block and sandpaper, and I went and got loads of brushes. It came with rollers as well, because me being me, I'm impatient. I've got masking tape as well. I'm impatient and I want things done like now. So the worst thing about it is all the Christmas decks are up, and I'm not taking all them down yet, but I am going to take all of this off the wall and paint it. And then unit wise, I'm looking at probably getting these light black units that are here. So you got one black unit there, and then one all the way in that corner over there. They're the units I'm thinking might go here instead to take away this table. So then I've got one storage and two just the black against the green. Then obviously having my real life plants and just everything in my office sort of with the walnut shade colourway. So we've got the walnut desk. I've got some wood accents over that side. The floor is laminate wood. So it will blend very nicely with the forest green. Now obviously, yes, we have a damn white fridge in here, so that's going to really stand out, but I don't record that side. I'm either this way, I'm either sitting like here, so it's going this way. I never am going to record facing the door and the fridge in the kitchen, so that doesn't really bother me as much. It might just look a bit out of place when people come in here and be like, why is there a white fridge? So today is the 23rd of December. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. My brain in my mind is like, get this done before New Year's, which I don't know if it's even feasible or possible. I'm going to have to take all the Christmas decorations down in here, take all the things off the wall, fill it, sand it, paint it. So in my mind, it's not going to be done that quick. But obviously, me being me, I want it done that quick. I'm impatient. I think everyone says it's ADHD. I think it's just impatience. That's all I'm saying. The ADHD part is probably going out and buying the paint and getting everything and just wanting to do it straight away and wanting the end process, but actually not thinking about the process that I have to actually do to get to the end. And then when I get there, I think I can't be bothered anymore, and it's just paint that's left in the shed. But it's not going to be like that. I want to get this done. So in the new year, we have a fresh office. I've never, like I said in one of my previous vlogs, I don't know which one, because like I said, they're all out of sync, they're all out of date. Like I mentioned, today's the 23rd of December. This video probably won't go live till like the 4th of January, whatever. But like I said in one of my other videos, I've never had an office space that I can really go out and do what I can do in this one. So, never had a dedicated sim rig, never had just a room for myself to experiment, have showing units, do whatever. If I don't like it, change it, do it again. So it's nice to have that sort of responsibility, if you will. I just need to take all this stuff down. But like I said, it's the 23rd of December. I probably am not actually going to start this, so why have I started recording now, I have no idea. But I'll see you in like 3 or 4 days probably when I actually take all of this stuff down. Actually, before we head off, I want to show you the actual colour. So this is the Pine Needles from Dulux Wall and Ceilings. That's the dark sort of shade it's showing me. Whether it dries that dark, I don't know, but this is what it actually looks like. It's got this mixture of like blue, teal, green, black, so it's going to blend really nicely with that sort of colour palette. Now, by no means I'm not a person that does colour theory, but when you have certain colourways like blacks, oranges, greens, blues, they all do complement each other, and to get a colourway that sort of also has those tones in there. So like I say, green, which has a bit of blue, has a bit of orange, has a bit of black in there, which turns it into this sort of dark navy-ish kind of green, then that will blend really nicely with everything in here. But yeah, anyway, enough rambling. I'll see you in about 4 or 5 days, as I said. Bye. I had another brilliant idea before I take it all off the wall. Patch test. I didn't do a patch test, so this is what the actual colour, while it's wet, obviously it will dry. So yeah, that's it without a torch. That's it with a torch. So it's like this, really nice. I really like that green. I think it's dark enough, but also bright enough when the light's on it. It gives it a nice contrast. If you know I'm filming, yeah, I think I'm gonna like this. That's a nice pine needle finish. I've touched it though. Definitely liking that. I just remembered I actually started like vlogging this and I've not recorded anything. Saying like, you know, I'm doing this to the office, this is a colour, and I haven't even like updated it. There's a dirty smudge on my lens. You get out of here. So it is still the 23rd of December and I'm still... The ADHD in me has made me want to do this. I said in it, I was like, oh, I'm not going to get this done until probably like the 4th of January because, you know, I ain't got the time to do it. Nah, fuck that. Same day, same vlog. Watch, this wall will be painted by 12 o'clock tonight. Well, as you can see, behind me, we're on Friday the 2nd of January. Happy New Year, everyone. And as you can tell, I've missed a lot of content recording. So the last thing I remember seeing on the camera is painting and then peeling off the masking tape. That was on the 24th of December, so Christmas Eve. Let me just tell you, when I say Christmas was just not what everyone expects, everyone was ill. I was the only one that actually didn't catch this sickness bug, but my wife was being sick, my daughter was sick, my son was just like flu-ridden. So Christmas Day was just a write-off. It was one of those ones that is just like, get it done, get home, just forget it, start the new year sort of thing. So that's what we've done. And as I say, it is the 2nd of January. We are in the new year, and I've done pretty much almost everything in this office that I've wanted to do. So we are pretty much now at the final stage. All I need to do now is get that back wall painted black and then sort out the Ethernet extenders, and so like my NAS system can go on, and you know, all the other stuff like my second PC and things. Get the new cockpit when that turns up, get that built, and then extension lead, 10-meter extension lead, so we can get all this plugged in behind me. So let's just have a little overview of the room as it is now. I will have a full office tour once it all comes out. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing a beanie, it's because it's 0 degrees outside. It's even got snow on the floor. I ain't about this life. I like sun. So this is what it looks like walking into the office. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail, but we've got these 2 black units that were in the front room. They're now in here. We've got the middle one, which I've turned into the coffee shelf, like the coffee bar. I've actually moved the LED sign here. This is what I picked up at a, like, it's like a charity shop. So like, they basically go to people's homes, take the stuff if they need it removing, or if, you know, people have passed away or whatever, and then they just sell it off, like, a lot cheaper. So if you were going to throw away a table, they'd be like, hey, we'll come pick up the table, we'll sell it for like 20 quid. That sort of thing. So I got this photo frame, and this like drum set VTech thing, absolutely sick. So yeah, I got that and that for, I think it was like £12. Bargain. Like, this is an actual $1 with Family Guy in the centre. It says freaking sweet. I just think it added to the office. So then obviously I got the Joe Charman, Adventure Time, and Deadpool, the 10 Hun puzzle that I've now actually framed. Well, I did frame it, but the frame was too big, so I just put it on this cardboard and hung it up there. The Adventure Time shelf, if you will. And then yeah, the 3D printer was on here. I will be 3D printing like a coffee tamper set, so like that holds all this. Like so, like this was like a tester. So basically, it would be like, you know, like that. So yeah. Then we've got the Moser wheels here, and then all of my all my keyboards in there. My snack drawer. Yeah. And then yeah, this one is like all filaments and, you know, like all the filament, some Moser gear down there, and all that good stuff. Then we've got the nice plant there. We've moved the pegboard over this side, so this wall is like the centerpiece, if you will. So we've got the DCs from Ken Block. We've got another little plant here, some Deadpool bits, and then like the retro shelf, if you will. And then this is the pegboard that's got all the minifigures, some little bits here. Well, you fell over. Some other little bits here, headphones, and then this is the sim rig area. Once I get the new sim rig, obviously that's going to be to like out here with the seats, so it's going to look cool. The lights, studio lights, soundproofing, and then this is the main desk. You know, like I said, I'm not going to go into too much detail. Underneath this side, we've got the sim rig PC, and then underneath this side is the main PC. Yeah, this is a desk, my 3D printed Deadpool holding up the custom Callum AFK Logitech 321s. Or G321s, the NAS system, and then another plant. So, and then this side is like all my, you know, camera lenses and things like that. I also mentioned the hat rail. There we go. But yeah, this is the office as of now. So all that's left to do now is black paint that wall. So I've got to take everything off of there again and then paint it. All that stuff's turning up tomorrow, so I'll get that in this video as well, because then it can be a full one video of just office renovation. And then I will do a full office tour, in depth, talking about everything that's on my desk, everything that's over this side, the coffee machine, doing all that stuff, and have some nice B-roll. This is more just like that vlog style, but yeah. Now I've got to wait for the black paint to turn up, so I'll see you when I start painting. And there we have it. We are done. I think we're done. But I've done the black paint. I've done the forest green. I've moved everything around to where I think in my mind I want it, or I've wanted it for a long time. The office tour will be coming. It is the 4th of January, which I'm quite proud of, because I believe at the beginning of this video, I said I wouldn't start till the 4th of January. So to have it finished, I think that's a proud achievement right there. Because normally I'm one of these people, I start a job and I get halfway through and I get bored and I don't finish it. So I'm very proud of myself for actually completely renovating this office to where I think my dream office would be like this. I've got my sim set up, the coffee machine area. Now obviously I do lose out on that unboxing desk, but it's that thing, you got to take sacrifices sometimes for the greater good. And I think it just looks so much better with the forest green, the chalkboard black at the back, and it's just going to look even better when we get the full sim rig actually sent out and set up with the chair and everything. That's going to look absolutely amazing. But yeah, I'm super proud of myself for actually completing a task finally, and also within good timing, I'd say. I'm hugely humbled by the amount of companies I've worked with over the last year and a bit, and as very cliche as it is, these are all brands that I've wanted to work with for a long time, and you know, like one of them actually being a full circle moment is working with Mad Catz. You know, my first ever gaming keyboard that I bought was from Mad Catz, and I don't know what it was called, but it was beefy, it was big, it had a load of LED like RGB lights on it. So to now have a full circle moment like 15 years later, with Mad Catz and collaborating with them, it's crazy. It's crazy. Because, you know, like back then I would be sitting there begging a company to work with them, or even have a t-shirt sent out to make it feel like I've worked with them or collaborated or something. But now to have the brands reach out to me and ask me how much I charge as well, which is just mind-blowing to me. It's a huge humbling moment for when times feel overwhelming, because a lot of times in this job role, it is very overwhelming. It's very, you know, imposter syndrome, as they call it. You do sit there and think, is this the life for me? Am I doing the right thing? Am I going to make it this year or what? And then to sit back and just think, where was I 5 years ago? Where was I 10 years ago when I really wanted this? I've now got it. It's sort of like a surreal moment, and you sit back and go, in a way, I've made it. Yeah, I might not be making millions like some of the other top tech creators or just creators in general, but you're working with brands you've wanted to work with for a long time. You've got an office of your dreams that people would die for, and it just sort of brings you back down to earth. And that's where I feel like 2026 is going to be that year where I just keep focusing on what I've got and not what I want, because then it keeps me balanced. You know, it doesn't make me feel overwhelmed and, you know, constantly accepting brand deals that, even though I'm stacked with so many already, there's going to be like a series coming out called Archives of 2025, because there's so many videos on my computer, like the NAS system I work with Ugreen on, that's got so much on there from 2025 I didn't post. And it's just like so much in my mind now for this year that I want to do, with a whole 3 long form videos a week, 1 short form every other day sort of thing. It's a lot going on, but I want to try and challenge myself to do it and really make use of this office. So yeah, there will be an office tour coming soon. So make sure you have notification bell turned on. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And, you know, 2026 is going to be a full-on content year for me. I want to try and sway away from the bobblehead that made me sort of 2 million followers on TikTok, and focus more on my tech stuff, where I really want to do and really want to be. And yeah, just hopefully hit more events up. Yeah, just generally enjoy making content again. And I think that's what a lot of people have realised over this last year. It's no more of this quick, snappy Mr. Beast video. It's now about just having a good story, or a good valued video, or just connecting with your audience. That's what people are now swaying back to, which brings me back to the early 2005 vibes. It was just about wholesome content and, you know, vlogging, things like that, family life. And that's what I'm excited for. So without further ado, I appreciate every single one of you for the last year and more if you've been here for longer, and the new people that have come in, I appreciate you as well for stopping by and actually trusting me in making content that you can sit there and indulge in. And yeah, let's make 2026 a killer year. Office tour will be coming soon. I do appreciate every single one of you. Remember, capture, create, captivate, and I'll see you all in the next video.